Mattio here. Coach, if you can just recap NAU's game and followed by a few questions.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. It's great to see everybody. We are in week 9 of Big Sky play, which is crazy. We know we're going to week 10, so Big Sky tournament is upon us, and we're getting pretty excited for this final stretch. We played at NAU on Saturday, so it was our bye week. We had one game, but it was kind of the back end of a 3-game road stretch that we had. And you know, we had a great week of prep and practice. I thought our focus was really, really good. And all of that showed on the floor. We shot the basketball really well. We had 5 players in double digits, which is great for us. And I just thought we did a great job defensively of controlling the game, controlling what they were trying to do. And, you know, I think it's really important, too. We were able to play a lot of players that game. So at this point in the year, the depth is extremely important, and making sure whoever, you know, numbers that we call is ready. They feel good. They feel good about what we're doing. So great road trip for us. And again, I go back to, I think, really good focus for our team and our preparation. And, you know, as we step into this next week, that's what we need as well, is just that continued focus of the great habits that we've been doing in our practices and obviously in game 2.
Coach, through the 3 games, you outscored your opponents 214 to 165. What has made both sides of the ball so balanced and efficient all season long?
I think we're talking about from the defensive side, right? I just think it's a collective effort defensively. And, you know, we talk about what makes a good defender. Well, they just have to want to play defense, body positioning, things like that. So I think there's a lot of little tactical things that go into a game, and understanding personnel. You know, we thought the first time we played Naomi White that we lost her. She had open looks, and she made us pay. You know, this time I thought we had better focus in some of that area. So I think, you know, from the defensive side, we flip our defenses, we give different looks, and I think that can be disruptive. But in the big picture, I think it's just the effort of our players. You got to have a gritty and scrappiness, and, you know, that starts for us. I know Gabby Fields is senior for us, and she knows our defense like the backside of her hand. And so there's several players that we have that really kind of lead and guide that and allow us to be a force every night.
Coach, you mentioned Gabby Fields, but then Anaya Hall and Tatum West all continue to climb the record book this season. What can you say about their development, maturity, and the different ways all 3 can impact the games in different ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I always talk about the record book, it's an individual thing, and it's fun to look, it's fun to talk about, and it's also like a collective moment right now because we're deep into our season, and it is more about the team than the individual, but what it's showing is just the body of work. And, you know, if I start with even Anaya first, she's just been here for 4 years. So her overall body of work is extensive. And it's no surprise, you know, that she continues to do that. And Tatum in year 3 as well. These players have an opportunity to really leave their legacy and their mark in that area. Now, you know, there's some areas like rebounding that you can be as selfish as you want in rebounding. The more rebounds you get, the better for us, right? So I think, you know, ultimately the main focus is on our team and not really like an individual record right now. But I do think it's really important as we get to the end of our season and we can reflect. There will be some moments that we can, you know, really look at some of those players and say, hey, we're making a lot of progress. And in particular, back to Tatum and Anaya, you know, even back to Tatum, just her maturity of studying the game, you know, improving her game, taking her shot to the next level. You look at all of her percentages, vastly increased from last season. And that's a testament to her and her work and what she's putting in. And then back to Anaya, too. She gets double teamed every single night. So both players have taken big steps. And I love it because we're going to need it, you know, down the stretch as we get deeper into postseason play.
And we have a question here from Ann Delaney with the Greeley Tribune. The team reached 20 wins Saturday. What does that mean to you and the program, and how is the team playing right now?
I think to some, I know some people say that 20 win is a little bit of a mark of what you're trying to get to. I also think for us, you know, 20 wins doesn't necessarily win you a Big Sky championship. So our goal is never to get to 20 wins. Our goal is still to win a championship. We have all of that in front of us right now. But credit to our kids, obviously credit to our coaching staff that has invested a lot of time in preparation for the games. But there's still so much in front of us. Again, it's hard to really sit and just, say, oh, we accomplished something when we're right in the middle of everything that we're trying to do. So, but yeah, it's a start for us. We haven't had a lot of 20-win seasons here at UNC. I think we talked about this last week. We've had 7 now total, right? 20-win seasons. So that's not a lot, and that's our expectation. That's our goal every year, is to surpass that 20-win mark and be in the top in the Big Sky and fight for championships.
And lastly, looking ahead, Coach, 3 games in 5 days. How big is this stretch for the final regular season?
I think it's huge. So Eastern Washington, a very, very well-coached team. And, it was actually a really close game at their place. They went up by 3 with maybe 4.5 minutes left in the game. We had to claw our way back into it at the end. But they're very disciplined. They have a young lady several players that are from right down the road from here. A young lady, her last name is Bowers, that's from Wyoming, and she's about an hour or so away. And she's had, she should be up for Freshman of the Year. In our league, she's had a tremendous season. So there's going to be a lot of prep and focus put on them. And right now, that's actually all that we're talking about is Eastern. That's all that our players are talking about right now, too. And then Idaho, we know, is #1 in the league right now, and has a great chance of maybe finishing out and maybe winning it all. It depends. We got a couple more games. We had them here, tied game going into the 4th quarter. I thought they did some really good things against us. I thought we did some really good things against them. And ultimately, it ended up being a low-scoring game, and they made some of the final buckets. So I think our players, when we get to that point, will be excited for that opportunity down in Moscow. And then from Moscow, we actually drive to Montana. So we played the 3 games in 5 days, and, way different team. So Montana's way different than Idaho and Eastern Washington in that they shoot the 3 really well. It's a tough place to play down there in Missoula. And again, it's hard for me to even project that far out right now because we're just prepping for Eastern Washington, who is going to be a handful in itself. So every test, we got 3 more tests. And I think that's the biggest thing is, we've had we knew 5 of the last 6 games were going to be on the road. We've played 3 on the road. We still, have 2 big ones on the road, but we really want to take this Thursday to focus on Eastern. We got our seniors, that we're super excited, to honor and have their families in town. So that becomes our focus right now, and we'll worry about the rest after that.